Hot take here for you. Most people who bought a new paddleboard bought the wrong one. Okay, so there isn't necessarily a wrong board for paddleboarding, but we have so many different types of boards, and with a few tips you can get yourself on a board that's going to allow you to really enjoy the sport. If you scour the internet, you'll find a whole slew of stand-up paddleboards, and we can make a whole different video for you as to why you shouldn't use price as your guiding factor. But it's worth mentioning here that you do get what you pay for. Cheap boards equals cheap manufacturing and future problems. Most paddleboards that you're going to find online or at your big box store are all-around boards. They're modeled after surfboards. They've got a round nose and a relatively wide tail. Those boards, so long as you're not getting anything that's super cheap, will float and allow you to do some yoga, hang out, or maybe float around with the kids. It gets people into the sport with very low barriers, which is a good thing. But it does come at a cost. Because if paddleboarding is something that you are enjoying and you want to go beyond casual floating, maybe you want to get a little further, go to the next island you haven't been to yet, explore new places on the water with your board, you're going to want to get something that's going to help you get the most out of your time on the water. So if you live in a place like we do here in Deep Cove, where we have lots of flat water to explore, a touring board is going to be the way to go. You can go far, you can explore, and at the same time you can have a board that's stable, easy to paddle, and something that you can get out there with the family and friends on. Touring paddleboards differ from all-around boards, primarily in their shape. Touring boards tend to be a little bit narrower, especially in the nose. You're going to notice that a touring board comes to a sharper point or a displacement style nose, and that's going to cut through the water much easier and give you more glide in every stroke. So you might notice when you're paddling an all-around board that they don't tend to track in a very straight line. They tend to move left and right depending on what side you're paddling on, which can cause you to have to switch sides more often, and you end up covering more distance. Touring boards tend to be a little bit longer, and with that sharper nose, it also means that the board is going to track in a straight line significantly better, allowing you to paddle without having to switch sides as often. And because of its efficient shape, a touring board will even keep gliding when you stop paddling. When it comes to the experience, the biggest thing you're going to find in a touring board versus an all-around board is that everything just gets easier. You can put less effort into each stroke, you can go further, you can go faster, and you can get there with less effort. And you might be wondering, why do I need to get a board that's going to allow me to go faster or be more efficient? I just want to be out there and chill on the water. Well, you can still do that on a touring board. Doesn't mean you have to go fast. Doesn't mean you have to work hard. But you can give yourself the option to explore further and make your life easier when you're on the water. So when you use a touring board, you're going to experience better glide, an easier paddling experience, better tracking, and great stability due to the higher volume of the board. So in theory, with a more efficient paddleboard, you can get on the water with less energy, less effort, and explore some of the amazing places we have here on the coast. So whether you're new to paddleboarding, or maybe you just want to upgrade from an all-around board, I really recommend trying out these three boards you've seen in the video: the Starboard Waterline, the Starboard Generation, and the Starboard Touring. All three of these boards come highly recommended, and you can check them out in store at Coast Outdoors or online at coastoutdoors.ca. Lastly, it's worth mentioning that our staff at Coast Outdoors are all avid paddlers themselves. They're highly knowledgeable, and so they'll ensure you get the perfect fitting board, meaning that it'll suit your skill level and suit the type of water you intend to paddle on. So head on over to 352 Lynn Avenue in North Vancouver, just behind Canadian Tire. Thanks for watching.